Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about 3 tokens that I personally am watching, my buy targets, and also my target points on them. And yeah, let's just dive in and let's talk about it. So I am recording this a little bit ahead of time, so price action in this market could change drastically. We don't know exactly where the market is going to be, headed today. We have definitely been watching the factors around this market kind of play into a possible another crash headed into the later days of this week. On the 24-hour span, we are seeing slight major changes within the altcoin market. A few of my altcoin positions that I have been waiting for are dropping, like for example Avi. Uniswap is one that I have been watching closely as well, and there are a few other ones down here. Gala is one that I also have been paying attention to. I know that this is not going to be included in this video, but Gala is also one that I have been watching closely. I don't really like the supply ratio to it, but I do think that in regards to like the gaming sector, Gala is one that I have been watching a little bit more compared to some other ones. But we are going to also be talking about a possible gaming token in this video that I do believe is going to be a very, very possible gem that is going to be very lucrative going forward. So with that in mind, let's just dive in and let's talk about the first token, and that is Elrond. So this one, I know that a lot of people are probably aware of by now. This thing ran to like $500. It's actually very close to like the tokenomics and price ranges of like Quant Network, for example. This thing did come out about like roughly $8 as the flatline target, around like $7 to $8 back in like 2020. It did do a substantial run to, like I said, almost $500, and we are now sitting at about roughly $50. You do see the tokenomics are pretty good within this. This did have an ICO price come out as well. Like in regards to like the ICO, you guys can check this information out as well. So like for an example, like the first ICO or IEO was literally a fraction of a cent, which is insane to me. There was also an airdrop with this, and there is a little bit more information on this token if you guys do want to learn more. Here is the tokenomics around it. Like public sale was 25%, private sale 19%, team is holding about like 20%. And of course, you guys do see the rest here. Also, by the way, there is a staking pool for Elrond as well, which I think could provide a little bit more of a substantial change within the tokenomics. Meaning, we could see a lot of lockups of the token, which could lead to a possible supply shock because there's really not a lot of supply for eGold as well. But let's talk about the price range for this. So I'm actually really eyeing a few levels. Now, I know that a lot of people will say like this $33 level is not going to be targeted, and that's totally fine. You guys can believe what you want. But the reason why I'm actually looking at this level is just because there's a slight demand zone here. Honestly, I would love to see this come down to like roughly $21. So like this demand range here, which could possibly play into the demand range going back as far as like July, the summer of 2020. And this could, substantially change not only the ROI, but my sell target. And I actually think that this is a pretty good buy zone between like roughly the $20 to $30 range, simply because of, like I said, like the upside potential on this one is pretty good. Going back as far as like the initial, IEO, if you will, like here's that $23 range. Here's the bottoming range after it was sold off. This goes back to like roughly the March of 2020 lows. And we do see like the outreach here. So I'm actually going off of the, April 2021 timeframe. Like we came up to like the 1618 level nearly. We actually kind of reached out slightly above it. And on our recent run, as you guys do see for the topping point here, it was slightly below the 1618 at about $650. So I'm looking at like roughly the 1414 to like the 1618 level. And like I said, if we can get down to this range, this demand range at like roughly $21, obviously I'm going to start accumulating once we do kind of, hit the bottom here at around like $33. If you look at the upside potential on this, just to like the 1414, this is a 100x opportunity, and we don't know exactly if this is going to be possible, next cycle or not. I would be, taking capital out, like initial investments out, like at a 10x opportunity, even at like the all-time high, for example. Going off of like the supply itself, like, for example, like the max supply, which is like 31.4 million. We'll just like kind of round it to 31.4 million at a price of like, this is like $2,300. It would have a market cap of roughly $72.2 billion, which is fairly conservative compared to like most of the top 10 tokens and their substantial market caps. But this is what I'm watching for. I will be fully happy even with like the 1272. Or if we kind of go off of the range back here, like this $1,100 range too, like it's actually pretty nice. I don't need to get 100x on every single token that I invest my money into. But would it be great? Sure, it would. But that is one that I definitely have been eyeing, and this is my buy range down here. Like I said, I'm really kind of hoping to see like this range be tested, which would also be the IEO price back here of like $23 for an example, which I think could be substantially possible and could be very lucrative. And the next one is ENJ. So ENJ has been one that we have been watching slightly, like I said, around like the gaming scene. It's something special, but they are also into other markets as well. This one I have been seeing being touted on Twitter a lot. This has roughly 1 billion total supply, so not like the best tokenomics compared to like Elrond or like QNT, etc. But this one has done some nice runs in the past. Like for an example, we ran to like almost $4.70. We were sitting at about roughly 48 cents or so, like 48.5 cents. But let's actually jump over to the chart and let's look at my buy range on this. So similar to the other charts that we were just kind of looking at with eGold, we're looking at a demand range. This demand range going back as far as like January of 2021 looks pretty special. Like if we can come down to like 25.5 to like 33 cents, like anywhere between like the 30-cent zone to like 25-cent zone is a place that I feel comfortable bidding. I know that a lot of people will say like, hey, we're coming down like 12.5 cents or whatever. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm looking at the 1618 simply because that's where we kind of outreach slightly above on the last run, going off of the fib levels from like 2017 all the way down to like 2018 during the bear market. And if it does make you feel a little bit more comfortable going off of like recent price action, more so like during like the March of 2020 crash back to like the March of 2019, we still outreached well above some substantial movements, which I don't really like going off of because again, like the fib levels are astronomically high here. So even more if you want to look at the macro level here, going back like I said to the 2018 highs, going off of like the March of 2020 lows, we still outreached well above the 1618, which is also why I've said like I'm kind of more so leaning towards this being a more accurate depiction of where we kind of headed to in regards to like the fib outreaches. And like I said, if we can come down to like test in between this range at like 30 cents for an example, I'm looking at almost like a 96x up to like $29, which would be like a $29 billion total market cap. A lot of the gaming tokens, like for an example, like we looked at Decentraland, they did astronomically well this cycle. And if you actually look at like the next cycle, I think that gaming, NFTs, metaverse, etc. is going to be a very large area to focus on. So I do think that ENJ could possibly outreach to like a 96x opportunity or even possibly a 100x opportunity. Again, I would de-risk yourself fully at like a 10x opportunity. Even if we get to like the $10 range, this is still a 35, almost 36x opportunity. Like I said, you don't need to be greedy and try to get like the most per asset. And last but not least, I just recently did a video on Energy Web Token, EWT. I think that this is a very special token going forward. It might be a little bit longer of a wait to see the true value of this thing unlocked. Yes, there's staking pools. That's why the supply is only 30% compared to like the max supply of 100 million. Again, very low, supply token. You guys can see like the fully diluted market cap of like 236.7 million compared to its like 71.1 million market cap. Again, this is a very undervalued gem compared to like most assets. This did outreach to about like 20.5 cents. Well, we can go off of like the actual range that they do have over here, which is like 22.22, as you guys do see down here for the all-time high, 22.22. Yeah, I think that this is going to be powering the fourth industrial revolution. We've talked about like the major partnerships that they do have. They've partnered with Shell and Accenture and even the EU Commission in regards to delivering some green sustainable energy. And when we look at the upside potential on this one, this is roughly about a 72x opportunity to the 1618. We recently outreached to that on our nice high. It was like between like the 1414 and the 1618. 8. Yes, I'm going off of the topping range from 2020, off of the bottoming range of December of 2020. This is like the only price data that I actually really have. And if we did outreach to like anything else, like if I tried to change this fib outreach substantially, it will change drastically in the heights, which I think is a little bit more inaccurate of a depiction on the next major move up. I'm looking at this demand range down here of possibly $1.60. If we could test that, like I said, the upside here is like a 71, almost a 72x opportunity. Again, don't get too greedy. You know, to me personally, like even a $45 EWT is pretty acceptable, and like $66 is nice as well, like over a 40x opportunity. But if we can get to like a 72x, that would be great. At $113, I think that we have. So if we're going off of like even the max supply of 100 million, for an example, which compared to like other tokens is, pretty, I would say low in supply, but off of like the $113 level, it's like about $11.3 billion market cap. And like I said, for the markets that it is going after, the partnerships that it does have, especially in the energy sector, I could definitely see this being a possibility. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As that's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.